my audience. Today is Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018, and I'm Fran Duvall, the host for today. But so glad to have Lynn Keefe, the Director of General Services. Directors, right? I
That's
always
correct.
ask you that, don't I? And you are here for, usually you come on once a month and catch us up to date.
That's right.
On this or that and tell us new things. So I see you have a long list there. What's happening?
Well, there's a lot happening. So I thought I'd just give you a brief rundown. There are a few things that we have checked off the list, and I like to review those because we don't want anyone to forget. We do have new buses. We will be doing an event to welcome them, but most folks have been enjoying those, both from a reliability and certainly comfort. So know that those are on campus. And along with that, the long-awaited GPS program. So if you haven't paid attention, at each front desk in the clubhouse there's a large screen, looks like a TV, about 40 inches, and you'll see a map of the campus and a little dot that represents the shuttle, and it has the stops highlighted, and you'll be able to get a sense of where the bus is on campus. So I know most folks, if they walk up, they say, well, was the bus just here or is it coming?
Yeah.
So now you can just look at that screen and tell where it is. In the next couple of months, as our IT folks establish the platform that it will ride on, we will soon be able to roll out the link so that you could pull that up on your phone or on your computer and be able to see that at your convenience, not just in the lobbies.
That's going to be a big help to people who ride the bus. And let's hope they're the same people that have the phone that can, or computer that can access that new link.
Yes, that will be great for everyone. But for now, you can at least see it in the lobbies. The fire sprinkler retrofit, we did work in about 60 resident apartments, and that has been completed. The fire marshal has been out, so we're glad that that has been completed. And I know Marie Lee has done some segments on the hearing loop that was installed in the theater and the Accutink. So again, if you use a hearing aid and would benefit from that, please seek that out and the information that's available for it. Those are great. But we also have some other things that are coming. So last year we replaced about a third of benches and trash receptacles on campus. While they look the same from a distance, they're made of a material that is low or no maintenance with 50-year warranties. And so we'll be replacing the rest of those before year's end. So look for those in areas throughout the campus. Also, guardrails, some are being cleaned, others will be replaced as they are at end of life, and that's mostly when you're coming into the campus and then around that ravine area as you're headed towards Garden Ridge. We also have new reflectors on that curve. They have a few more to add, but that curve as you go by the pond, aside from slowing down, the reflectors were a request from residents, and that should help guide folks as to where they should be on the road. But again, slowing down is always a help as well. We are coming to the close of window and door installation. By the end of November, we will have completed 3 years worth of window and door replacement in all 3 neighborhoods. So they continue that work in neighborhood 3, and again by the end of November. The elevator project, we did lose a little bit of time with the rainy season that we endured for months seemingly, but that new elevator in Village Square is set to be done by the end of November.
Yay.
We have shared a variety of pictures. We had, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, between 5:30 and 8:30 in the morning, we closed the Village Square lobby and everything was covered in literally transporting concrete for the work. And I see they're actually showing some of that footage right now. So quite an operation, but that is coming along, and before the end of the year we'll have that new elevator operational. We continue work in Neighborhood 1 hallways. They are working in Grove Terrace. They're also going back to Parkview and replacing ceiling tiles, as that's a part of the project, and we hope to continue moving forward with more hallways before the end of the year. Cooling tower is near completion behind Garden Ridge, and we will look at getting rid of that temporary cooling tower that's back there.
And what is that for?
So the cooling tower, it's a replacement of the original that existed, but what it was replaced with accommodates not only the existing facility, but the new building, Dogwood Commons, as well. So exciting things, big exciting things back there. Finished the kitchen at Garden Ridge for all intents and purposes, and we are coordinating with dining. We anticipate a Monday after Thanksgiving start in CB1. Much more information will come about the operational impact. We also have, folks may have noticed end of last week, across the enterprise changing paper vendors, and paper meaning hand towels, paper towels, and toilet paper in restrooms, and toilet seat covers. Very exciting project, but it requires an equipment change out, and that's provided by the company. I do apologize, they did not do as great a job as we would have expected. We're still doing some analysis to make sure everything's where it should be. That has not yet occurred in Neighborhood 3, so just in 1 and 2. And you and I were chatting before we got started about the theater lighting. So the engineers are working on those plans right now. It remains a priority, but it is more than changing light bulbs or just fixtures. So it's a pretty comprehensive project, but it is on its way, and you should have no issue with the spring play.
Oh, that's good.
So please know that is a priority. We've had a few changes in our general services staff. So Beverly Stouts, who worked with the folks that you probably speak to when you call general services, she retired after 11 years.
Oh, and too bad. She's a lovely lady.
She was, and we certainly miss her. I know she's enjoying retirement, but Mahima Tawari, who many folks know has worked in project management, took her place. So you'll see a familiar face when you come into general services. We are in the process of filling Mahima's role, and we had another internal promotion. Myron, who has been a utility tech over in Neighborhood 3, is now the team lead for housekeeping in Neighborhood 1. So I know folks love Myron, and we're thrilled to have him in that role. So welcome him. Our ground supervisor, we had him here for probably just over a month, and unfortunately he decided to return to the business that he ran previously. So we have that vacant. We're continuing to get a little extra from all of our team to make things happen. If you have questions, please call our office, and we'll make sure whatever you need gets addressed. You know, the survey is still going on, right? Resident satisfaction.
Yeah, I think they have a few more days.
A few more days. So until the 26th, I like to say don't let your neighbors speak for you. Make sure you take time and take the survey if you've not already done that. Another project that's coming, and I've heard a variety of things from folks, an upgrade to our Wi-Fi system. So some of the work has begun in replacing some of the components in the residential areas. Surveys have begun, and that will occur after the first of the year. And it will be taking what we call the access points. We call them WAPs. They're the square boxes that you see in the ceilings outside in the hallways. Those are going to be relocated to each resident apartment, which is just one component of the upgrade that they're doing. So look for more information. Hans Keller, who's the IT vice president, is going to come down and address in a resident town hall.
Oh,
so we
that's
don't
good.
have a date yet, but as soon as we
Just
do.
yesterday, one of my friends said, "Were you kicked off the internet?" And I said, "Knock on wood, I have never been kicked off. Wherever I'm situated, whatever equipment I have, I've never been kicked. Gosh, watch me go home now. It'll be.
Well, I
But
encourage,
she said all day long it had been happening.
so if you have issues, make sure that you're still calling the IT service desk, letting them know what you experienced and at what time so that they can go back and assess that. But Hans has told us that this will address many, many of the issues. So we'll look forward to welcoming him to Green Spring and hearing about the work to come.
Good.
And because it's this time of year, we're going to be putting information out for our annual subscription list for snow. Residents who have reserved parking can sign up for that, so we'll be getting that out hopefully before the end of the week. And then with that comes preparedness. We like to talk about it at the change of season, and we did the same thing going into hurricane season. We dodged the worst of that, certainly. Thank you to those who participated in the earthquake drill. It's a good opportunity to discuss your personal preparedness and your own awareness. And as we go into winter, it's another time to do that. If you drive, make sure that your car is prepared, that you've got good tires, that you have, I grew up in the Midwest, so we always kept blankets and sand in our trunk. But also make sure that you have your own supplies, battery operated radio, extension cord if you need to reach a red outlet. So just a good time to take note.
Yeah. Going back a minute to the snow contracts that you have with people who have paid parking. What if a person doesn't have paid parking but wanted the service? Can they, I know they wouldn't always probably be in the same spot, but can't they take advantage of it?
So they don't sign up for the subscription service, but they can always call after a snowfall and say, I would like to have my car or my space cleaned. The subscription service just allows us to know where we can go out and start automatically. But those who don't have reserved parking can always call. We allow the team up to 48 hours from when the snow stops falling to be able to clear. If it's not a significant snowfall, we tend to get to it sooner. When we have a huge amount of snow, it can take up to that.
You should just stay in your apartment if you have a huge amount of snow.
Well,
That's my remedy.
I tell folks all the time, although it looks really clean around Green Spring, I guarantee you the roads outside of Green Spring never look like that. So yes, stay in if you can.
Yeah. How did we do on your list?
Well, the only thing I see left is something I know the resident committee has been on about recycling, that our trash hauler is no longer recycling numbers 3 through 7, and I'll defer to all of their information that's out there.
Right. You didn't mention the repositioning or whatever it is that's going to happen in neighborhood 1 with the cafe or an extension or any of that. Is that?
So it is still moving forward. They're in permitting now. The enabling projects, which is some of the first activity that we'll see, is coming. I don't have dates yet, but we're looking towards the end of the year. And those enabling projects are things like, the first project will be the treasure chest, which is going to be relocated to the old Viva space. And once that's done, that will allow the treasure chest to move. And then the treasure chest space will be built out as the new employee break room. And the employee break room then will move from the end of the hallway near the medical center down there. We'll also be using the old treasure chest furniture store for the resident computer lab, because that space is going to be converted to meeting space up there. And all of those things will occur before we start, that's the contractor, will start on the Potomac Cafe and the other interior spaces. So as soon as we get a more definite time frame, we will certainly communicate that. I know this time of year folks are reserving rooms and they're saying, can I still reserve those rooms? And we've said absolutely, until we have a date where we know a space is not going to be available, go ahead and reserve that space. And once we know, we will communicate that out broadly and many, many times.
So then moving on to neighborhood 3, and I know we're running over time a minute, but I want to ask about that business that Chandra talked about last time, about the extension of the bistro on the other side of the billiards tables or whatever.
So I'm not really aware of that particular activity. So if that's what she said,
it's not in the form of a project yet.
That must be the reason. I don't have all the detail, but I know they are looking at that. So rest assured.
Because already questions have come up to because I happened to interview her that
okay,
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
More to come.
Okay, more to come's a good answer. Lynn, thank you very much for coming today and staying that extra minute.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
I don't know if the control room like that, but anyway.
They're very flexible.
There you are. Okay.